Okay, fam, we got an issue here. This toilet, it's an older home. This can happen in new homes, but here we got a situation where the toilet is leaking. And if you notice, this toilet rocks, okay? So the issue is probably right down here at the base of the toilet. It's the flange. So we're gonna take this thing, break it down, and then we're gonna replace the flange. Hopefully it's not the flange, but we're gonna take a look at it. Thing you wanna do, you wanna cut off the shut-off valve. The shut-off valve, just remember, open is to the right, or whenever you see this section wide open, and then you wanna shut it off, you wanna come here, you wanna shut it off. You just wanna turn this, and then close it, close the valve. Then you want to hold down the flush, hold it down. Try to get as much water as you can possibly get out of it. You're gonna have water in the bowl. You're gonna have water in the reservoir as well. So you wanna take this reservoir off. Have a bucket. And then you wanna get your sponge. And you wanna just kind of sponge it out. Sponge out the water. This is clean water right here. Fresh clean water. Just gonna get as much water as you can. When you lift the toilet, you want to get some more water. Okay, now let's take out the bowl. Take the water. Take the water out of the bowl. When you get to the end, you want to go back with your sponge, and the sponge will soak up the rest. Now we have the bowl. The bowl right here is empty. The reservoir is empty and the bowl is empty. Now we're ready to take out the toilet. What I recommend, put your towel in the tub because we're going to take the toilet and we're going to place it right here. And then that way you can reduce some of the water and the excess. So the first thing we're going to do, we're gonna release this. You may have nuts. This is a wing nut. You may have, most of the time what you have a cover here. Just lift the cover. Sometimes you have grease to keep it from rusting. You can just release that. Another thing you wanna do, you wanna disconnect piping to the toilet. This particular toilet has a sprayer system, maybe a little water that comes out right there, no fear. Then you want to take the wing nut off, take the washer off, and you want to go on the other side and do the same thing, same process. Next, we're going to lift the toilet and we're going to take it right over here to the tub. So you're going to lift it straight up. Okay, once the toilet has been released, we're just going to clean up the area, the surface area. And we'll use our sponge to kind of sponge up everything. Now, if you look real closely, this is the problem right here. This screw right here, it's a little bit loose, but it's still well intact, okay? But this right here, this is where the screw and it came out with the toilet. See, this piece right here is broken. This right here is broken. It should be continual like this, but it's broken. So this tells me we're gonna have to replace this flange. So this is a flange right here. So what we're gonna have to do, we're gonna have to chip and get this out of here. So next, what you wanna do is, I went to the big box store and I got this flange. Basically, we're gonna replace this unit right here. What you wanna do is, in the beginning, you wanna mark your area where you have the bolts coming here and the bolts coming here. So we're gonna mark this area right here. So one goes here, and I put the range there. And then the other one goes pretty much here. All right, let's take out that existing bolt. You just slide it. So the bolts are designed like this, and then they just slide. You place them in here, and then you just slide them in to just, and then you tighten them down with this big washer, okay? So we're getting ready to just cut this piece out. This is the piece we're gonna replace it with, okay? So when it comes to orientation, we're gonna pretty much do it just like that. I think that's the best way. Let's see. Yeah, that's the best way to do it right there. All right, let's go. I'm gonna use, you can use a chisel, you can use various tools. This is a grinder. I got this from Harbor Freight. Pretty simplistic. It's just a grinder. It's a cutting blade, and I'm just gonna cut it all the way out. This is a marathon, it's not a race. So if you notice, right here is the actual existing pipe right here. We do not want to cut into this existing pipe right here, going around right here. This is the flange. The flange sits down on here. So we want to cut all of this out. Remember, we got all of this ring out. So we want to take our time and cut down to here. And then once we get a nice groove in here, we can kind of pick it apart and pull it out, okay? So let's keep chopping away. So we got everything kind of cleaned out. Still got the sponge here to stop the debris coming in. But there's an issue. I'm not the only one that came into this home. This is an older home, but built in the 70s. So you got to go behind people. And they may do things to fix up that situation, but it may not be inclusive to what is beneficial long term. So if you notice, I slide this on right here. See that gap right there? That gap right there? I'm gonna have to fill in this gap. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have to go back to the store, buy a sleeve that can slide in here and come back out. So I gotta do a sleeve that's gonna come in here and then flange back out so I can slide this on it. So once again, back to the big box store. Okay, we got everything kind of cleaned out. Remember I told you I went behind someone else and the pipe is not even across here. So I had to go back, get an extension, and then I had to cut the extension kind of based on how, if you notice, the pipe is high on this side, so I cut it based on that. So we're gonna glue this in, slide that in there, and then we're gonna come back and then add the flange on top. So let's go ahead and put some glue on there, and then we're gonna put everything together, and then we're gonna tie it on up. First application gonna be the purple primer. Gonna shake it up real good. Once we do the purple primer, we're gonna come back and then we're gonna add the actual adhesive, the cement right here. So let's shake it on up. The job is complete. We got it all installed. It's ready to go. No more leaks. Be well, be blessed.